Okay, let's do a little thought experiment. I want you to imagine something with me for a moment. You have a friend, real friend, a true friend, not a fair weather one, someone who's actually been with you since the very beginning. Actually, since you were a child, they know you better really than anybody else. They're genuinely, unconditionally interested only in what's best for you. And imagine that this friend has been whispering in your ear your whole life, actually. Gently, quietly, they've been trying to guide you, trying to keep you on your path. Here's the thing though, and this part might make you a little bit sad. You've been treating this friend really badly. Yes, sometimes you listen, sometimes, but mostly, actually you doubted them. You dismiss what they say as foolish, impractical, impossible. You tell them they're being unrealistic. You tell them to keep quiet. And then you go back to your job, your story, your hardships, and you decide you don't want to see that friend for a while. Now, there's one part of you that knows exactly what I'm talking about and exactly who this friend of yours is, because in an important way, this friend of yours is real. And I'll explain what I mean about that and who your friend is in a moment. But let me ask you this first. Does any part of this sound familiar? You've been lying awake, 3 a.m, and some part of you just knew that there was something you needed to do, someone to call, something to say, some idea. You should write it down. It's really important. But you're tired and you talked yourself out of it by the morning. Maybe you've been in a relationship or a job. Something kept nudging you, whispering, it's not right for you. This isn't you. But you ignored it. Maybe for years. Maybe you stood at a crossroads and felt a pull so clear that it almost scared you. But you chose the safe option instead, the logical one, the one that everybody else would approve of. And then things got harder, because that's actually what happens when you abandon your truest and oldest friend. Now, I've been teaching Reiki for more than 25 years. I've worked with literally thousands of students, from complete beginners to experienced masters. I can tell you that the number one thing that every single person had in common pretty much was that they came to me and at some level they'd lost trust in themselves. Not in a big, dramatic, catastrophic way, but quietly and gradually over time. Do you know what I mean? It's like the way you sort of over time stop calling a friend back, and eventually you've even forgotten what their voice sounds like. And with these people that I've seen time and again, my students, at the moment their practice deepened, the moment something in them opened, the first thing they got back wasn't some magical kundalini opening or a mystical superpower. Something more important. It was simpler. It was the ability to hear themselves again, to trust their quiet knowing, and to be able to act on it. So decisions that used to take weeks became clear in minutes, right? Relationships that had felt like impossible to navigate became really simple and clear. Not because the issues themselves disappeared, but because they stopped second-guessing themselves at every turn. And I think you know where I'm going with this. So who is this friend, this old, trustworthy friend who has been with you since childhood, right? Back when you had more time for them, when you hang out together, laugh together, when you had really good times. I think you might already know. That friend is your intuition. It's your subtle knowing, not this mystical concept, not something you need a guru for to unlock. Right? You don't need to climb the Himalayan mountains, meditate in a cave for 100 years, because your intuition is the part of you that holds the doorway open to your creative imagination, to possibility, to potential, and to your most authentic self. And my discovery with all of this, because I'm just really describing my own path as well as my students, is that it was always there and it never left. Your mind, yes, the machine has been trying to shut that doorway, to bolt it, to lock it, to barricade it from the inside. And that is simply because the mind is afraid. This is nothing personal for you or for me. This is what we all have. This is something that goes very deep. It's impersonal. The mind is based on fear, right? And if you have a look at this, it's going to help you change how you see yourself and your potential. Really, it will. Because your mind is running your life in a fear-based mode. It feels natural, but that's only because everybody else is doing it. Everybody. It's a learned behavior. And in a sense, it's a kind of foreign implant, something that got installed over years and years of conditioning by school, society, by watching every adult around you operate in that same anxious, strategic, survival mode, frequency. You know what I mean, right? Every person you see rushing around, worrying about whether there'll be enough money, time, love, safety, they've all agreed subconsciously, collectively, to live together in that place. It's crazy when you think about it, right? It's just a common shared agreement. That's all it is. That's why we go on holiday. Get out of that horrible bubble just for 5 minutes. But when everybody around you agrees to be in the state of fear, they all agree quietly, collectively, to not listen to their friend, their intuition, because intuition doesn't speak the language of fear. It speaks the language of a knowing based on trust. A knowing based on trust that comes from a natural connected state, being connected with Earth, being connected with the planet, being connected with the universe. It's very different from strategic planning and controlling and managing. So you learned, like all of us learned, to kind of like turn down the volume on your oldest and truest friend. Sit with this for a moment. Think about, just for a second, a time in your life when things felt genuinely right. So take a deep breath. See whatever comes up. It might be something totally random. When you were in flow, when things fell into place almost effortlessly. You know, you met the right person at the right moment. You were exactly in the right place at the right time. It's almost as if by magic. What was different in those moments? I'll be willing to bet that in those moments, you were listening, you'd taken a risk, and you'd trusted the whisper over logic. You trusted your old friend, and something opened up. Right? Now, what about times when you're not listening? Okay, just for a second. Allow your subconscious to tell you something that you're not listening to. See what comes up. This is the moment when you chose safety over your true path, where you let that sort of frightened voice of the mind override this deeper, authentic part of you. And I'm not here to criticize any of your choices. You know, we're all doing the best we can. But it's really good to shine light on this, because when you keep letting the mind lead, you keep choosing strategy over intuition, fear over trust, right? You stay stuck in the story of your hardships and your victimhood. And maybe that life feels safe. I mean, is it really? Maybe you've told yourself it's safe, but are you fully alive, right? So the longer you go without reconnecting with that friend, the more unfamiliar that voice becomes. And that is the real danger, right? That slow, quiet drift away from yourself. Now, this is what I talk about with my Reiki students in my community, because I feel that there's more to Reiki, more to energy work than just the superficial love and light and unconditional love stuff. And if you're interested in knowing more about that, check out the link in the description below. But stick with me, because I want to show you exactly how to find your way back, right? If you recognize any of this, how do you get back? Well, it's simpler than you think, right? And Here's the first thing I want you to hear. You do not need to become enlightened to trust your intuition. You don't need to awaken your kundalini, right? You don't need to spend 10 years meditating in a monastery. Honestly, we don't need to make it complex. Sometimes the New Age world makes us feel inadequate because it's all presented in such a complex way. Want to break through all of that? None of that's required. Anything that creates a pause between you and that anxious noise of your mind will help you. And when it's done regularly, it will bring you back home. Now, for some people, that's Reiki. For others, it's a daily walk in nature when they've left their phone behind for once in a while. For others, it's 5 minutes stillness in the morning before the day begins, right? Could be meditation, really, really powerful. Could be breathwork or journaling, or simply just sitting with a cup of tea and allowing yourself to be without being busy. The specific practice, actually, and I know this might sound counterintuitive, the specific practice itself doesn't matter so much. It's more your intention and the frequency, the consistency of practice, right? Because that will slowly bring you back home. Now, for me personally, and also for the thousands of students that I've worked with, Reiki has been one of the most powerful and reliable paths back to that inner knowing. When it's taught in the right way, okay, because Reiki can be superficial, so we've got to access the depth. And the thing about Reiki is that it works directly with the body's own energy because it quietens your nervous system, creates conditions where you can really let go, where the mind can soften its grip. Then what happens is that you fall back into that part of you that has always been whole. That's your authentic self, and that is where your intuition lives. That is where you will find part of you that was always whole, never hurt or wounded in any way. You can go there now. Bring the attention to the center of your chest just for a second. Take a deep breath. And just notice. Don't try and make something, just notice. Do you recognize there's a sense or a quality of knowing, some kind of trust that there's something, right? However faint it is. And that's your friend saying hello. And the more that you practice turning your attention there, just gently, without forcing, without expectation, the easier it will become to recognize that voice. Really, honestly, I trust this part of me really more now than I've ever done in my whole life. The more you listen to it, the more you can act on it, the more you'll trust it. And then it becomes not just a whisper, it actually becomes something that's like a sense, a capacity to perceive your reality directly. This is what happens over time. And then you'll be able to guide your life with it. So your oldest friend, honestly, has never deserted you. Even when you turned your back on them, even when you dismissed them, maybe for years, when you chose the fear over knowing again and again, they were just waiting for you. And I can tell you that however old you are now, doesn't matter. It's okay to listen. It's okay to trust. You're coming home. Now, if you like this video, in the next one, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I wish that I knew before I started teaching Reiki 25 years ago. Okay, if you want to learn Reiki, or if you already practice Reiki and you want to go further, currently I'm offering a 7-day free trial on all of my Reiki courses, as well as access to my community. What I'm trying to do is build the very best Reiki learning platform that is out there. I'm sharing 25 years of experience with teaching Reiki, so you're going to get access to all of my knowledge and all of my experience from Reiki 1 all the way to Reiki Master and beyond. And you get full support from me. I hold regular live Q&A sessions, so you can ask me anything and I will support you on your whole Reiki journey. There's a 7-day free trial currently available, so check out the link below.